Hey, what's going on, Golferos? Welcome back to Salud Golferos, the podcast. I'm your host, Ralph. And tonight with me, I have our CEO and my cousin, Raul, and our
What up,
very
everybody?
special guest, Dom from the SavePar Podcast. One of two hosts. Derek, unfortunately, couldn't be with us tonight. But Dom, thank you so much for being with us, man.
I am arguably the better host. Just throwing it out there.
Well, I mean, you have more at bats than he does, so that, without a doubt, you are. I mean, like,
I think
sorry,
I'm the
sorry.
funnier one between Derek and I. Like Derek's definitely the one who's like, "Damn, Dom, you got to get back on topic." And then there's me. I'm just like, I'm just happy to be here. But thanks for having me. It feels weird being on the opposite side of this, but I appreciate seeing it happen from a different lens.
Dude, I know, right? You're the one that helped us start our podcast journey, so it's only right that we bring you on in season one. And I
So,
guess
dude,
that's
are we having a Padawan master moment here for you, dude? Because he's the one that got you on this.
exactly. We're bringing it all back. I just don't want to be Anakin. I'm not trying to kill you at the end of this. All right, Dom.
Ooh, that's a deep cut. Yeah,
That's a deep cut.
that's a deep cut. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to nerd out on this podcast. But no, man, I just wanted to thank you because yeah, you did get us back onto that journey. As some people know, when Raul and the rest of the guys, we got this all going, I told them that podcasting is one of the things that I wanted to do in the Golferos journey, and here we are, man. And you're a big component of that. It's funny, actually, I was just talking to Nelson, and I was telling Nelson that he is one of those links in the chain of us getting into podcasting, whether he realized it or not, because he introduced us to you. So yeah, let's give a big shout out to Nelson. Tacos at the turn.
I
Tacos,
love
baby.
Nelson. I don't talk to Nelson as often as I would like to, but I also feel like he's kind of like mysterious in that sense.
He's a little bit of a mysterious guy. Yeah.
You know
No,
what I
dude,
mean?
honestly, Nelson has become a network broker because he's gotten so many people together, so many brands that he has really connected. So mad shout out to Nelson because I've seen him do his work online and at the events live. He's always brokering some new friendships and relationships when it comes to our little indie golf community, if you will.
Bro, facts. I don't know how Nelson does it. But he builds all these connections, and yeah, he is that middleman almost. He's the connector.
Yeah. No, mad props to Nelson for that.
Yeah. Shout out Nelson. Shout out Tacos at the Turn. What a great guy. So yeah, Dom, the way you asked us our very first time on your podcast, we're gonna ask you.
Oh no.
Go ahead. What is SavePar Podcast? How did it get started? You know, what's the origin story? Let the people know.
So if we're gonna talk about it, we got to talk about where SavePar started. The issue with Derek not being here is SavePar is Derek's baby, and I refuse to take any acknowledgement of I did anything for SavePar. It was well established before I got here. From what I remember him saying, it started as like a Duck Dynasty fan page. I don't understand how that works, and I see Raul going, "What the hell?" It is the whitest thing I've ever heard. I know. Anyways, transition to like, wow, Derek and I probably met 2016, 2017.
Mhm.
We met in community college. Neither of us are good at math, so we met in a very low level math class. And I, being me, kind of strolled in at the last minute, and I was like, "There's nothing open," and then there's this guy sitting there, and I'm like, "Oh, let's pop next to him." And the way Derek and I kind of connected was we were doing like FanDuel or no DraftKings like 1v1s like for golf. And that's how it blossomed and everything. We just kept bugging each other, and then eventually we were playing golf and we wrap up our round and we're in the parking lot and he goes, "Hey, you talk a lot." And I'm like, "Yeah, get that a lot." And then he goes, "You're also very opinionated." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll kind of die on hills. That's how I was kind of raised. Like, if I believe in it, stick with it." He goes, "We should start a podcast." And I was like, "That's dumb." And we kind of mulled on it. COVID started, and I was like, "Hey, do you still want to do this? He's like, yeah, dude, I'm in. So I made the Instagram page. I believe it was 21, and we had our first episode launch Masters weekend of 2021, and it's just kind of been a ride. Obviously, you guys are talking to me before we record our episode this week. We're gonna do episode number 120,
Hey,
which
nice.
is
Attaboy.
wild, especially considering episode 2 we were singing the Bee Gees song. Nobody wants to talk about that though.
Let's
Which
talk
be
about it. Why the Bee Gees?
Yeah, I was like, we staying alive? What was going
It
on?
was Staying Alive, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but it was we did it in the beat of The Office where they're doing the CPR training, and it's Staying Alive. That's why episode 2 is titled Staying Alive.
Nice.
Yeah.
You guys just brought the song up for no reason, or what?
I don't remember. My thing is I don't listen to our episodes because I live it, I edit it, I produce it. I hear enough of my voice on a weekly basis that another hour might legitimately kill me. So I don't remember.
Bro,
This was also like 3 years ago at this point.
yeah, I resonate with you a little differently, but I still resonate with you because I listen to our podcast over and over again as I try to get like the right splits on like editing and stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't always wear headphones. So my wife is just like, I've heard the intro to the podcast 7 times now, or I've heard Raul mention this several times.
Sounds about right.
I'm with you, bro. Yeah, re-listening to yourself, it's very weird. You're like, oh, okay, tired of
My
my own
favorite
voice.
thing last week, I ordered some stuff from the new Kingsman drop that Don.
Ooh, yes.
I got the purple because I'm like, fuck yeah, it's purple print.
I knew you were
Hell
gonna
yeah.
go for that one, dude.
I knew it,
I knew
yeah.
you were gonna
Dude,
go for the purple one.
Dude, it's purple and it's like Minnesota. Shut up, okay? And
No, dude, you swear you were a Minnesota guy. You swear you were not gonna go for the purple one, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
dude,
come
it's
on.
Prince.
That's of course, dude. Come on.
Prince, Purple Rain. There we go.
That's a little bit better than my Bee Gees. I sent him a voice message saying, "Yo, dude, the stuff feels great. It fits great. Blah blah blah." And he hits me back and says, "Hey, I just played your voice note for my partner, and she said you have a great voice." And I was like, God, I'm happy somebody thinks so. 'Cause I'm sick of it.
Hey, it's about to be 120 episodes of your voice and Derek. So
Technically, I am only in 119 of them.
really,
I missed one. Yeah.
that's a better score than Derek, though, I believe. 'Cause
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
still winning.
missed
You're
2
still
of
winning
ours.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I missed one because like my back hurt and I like couldn't sit up straight, and I'm just like, Derek, come get the gear, and I had to walk him through how to set up Zoom and everything. It was wild.
So Derek runs the SavePar page. You run the SavePar podcast page, and then
Yeah.
you do all of the podcast editing and all that. Like, does he do any of that work on that side?
No.
No.
And the story is, I don't know if I think I've kind of mentioned it. The reason I run the podcast page is because I don't remember the password to it, and I can't just give it to Derek at this point. Um,
That's a
and
dog move.
the reason I had to start the page was because at that time Derek was already maxed out on Instagram pages you can be logged into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the max? Because I'm logged into 3.
Apparently it might be 4 because Derek's like, hey, I can't create another one. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I got you, I'll do it. And then I forgot the password. So yeah. So the beauty is everybody messages thinking it's gonna be Derek. And
Yeah.
you get a totally out of pocket response from me. And everyone's like, that's not Derek. I'm like, nope. So I actually had to switch it from Derek and Dominic to Dominic and Derek just to have people at least kind of see that it might be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Interesting,
Yeah, I always
huh?
wondered that. I was just like, is it just because you want to? Because the pages are actually pretty different. Like, I feel like Derek on the Save Par page is definitely a lot more golf memes and kind of like hot topics going around the
Hmm.
golf world. And then obviously the podcast is just strictly the podcast. So,
Yeah.
um, okay. Huh.
So initially we were going to run the podcast page just like SavePar.
Uh-huh.
Derek also owns the Golfstagram. If you guys have ever heard of that one or kind of accidentally followed it, that's also Derek.
Hmm.
They're basically the same thing, but the Golfstagram is basically dead at this point. Um, Derek wanted me to post like 3 or 4 times a day, and I'm like, no, I just don't have the time, and I don't really find stuff that funny when I see it 17 times.
Yeah.
Um,
True.
so I'm like, well, let's make this just the podcast. So it was just the pod, and then like stuff sprinkled in. Um, and now it's pretty consistent with like Tuesday, you see who we're gonna have on. Real. Thanks for coming on, and then that leaves the weekend open for if we're doing like reviews of stuff or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you guys started forming the podcast and you're like, okay, we want to go ahead and focus on golf, Derek's intro is where we talk about golf and things, right?
Yeah.
So I think when you hear that, you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk golf, we're gonna talk the Masters, the players, things like that, or kind of just like I guess almost in a sense like a newscast kind of a deal. But you guys actually focus more, at least from all the episodes I've listened to, is just meeting new brands and kind of talking about the different brands. Was that just kind of like a natural flow, or is that like, okay, that's what we want to do? How'd you guys set on that?
So originally it started like if you go back, listen to the first handful, it's just Derek and I.
Mm.
We didn't have guests right away. We didn't know how to reach out to anybody and be like, hey, you want to come on our podcast with like 4 followers? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know it has nothing to do with follower counts, but that's how some companies decide what they do and who they don't talk to, and it's very annoying. Been there,
Mhm.
done that. Um, I haven't done that. I don't care how many followers you have. Don't. That wasn't me. We've been shot down for follower count. That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Um, even though Derek's got 170K, which again, I'm just going to use his account as hostage. Um, Originally it was just Derek and I. We're like, hey, let's talk about the upcoming events, the major. Let's make player picks. It's exactly what we did last week.
Hmm.
If you guys tuned in, we just threw it back to what it used to be. Um, God, Derek and I just talked about this. He's like, who was our first guest and when were they on? I was like, that's a great question because I don't remember. Um, so the first few we're just like, hey, we're starting around Masters, that's about the Masters, stuff like that. Um, and then it kind of just naturally progressed to being this, hey, come on, we'll talk about your company, your brand, what you got going on, what you want to do. Why do I have so many things on my Spotify? There it is. The worst part of Spotify too is we have to go back and look at the old logo. So our first guest, I believe, is OB Golf Co. And
Okay.
they're two of our favorite dudes. They're out of Sacramento. Uh, kind of. One of them doesn't live in Sacramento, but it's Shay and Shane, good dudes out in the Bay. Although if you
Were,
don't
were they at,
consider,
were they at the shindig?
no, they had stuff going on, and it really bothered me because I really wanted them there.
Yeah.
Um, it kind of progressed naturally, and there's no other way to put it other than we wanted it to be super organic and grow organic. We didn't want
Mhm.
it to be like, hey, here's this thing, listen to it, follow it. We want it to be, hey, if you like it, great. If you don't, there's 10 others you could listen to, right?
Yeah.
And there's always a new podcast every day. Um, so it's not the end of the world, but it just kind of progressed. And then after that, we didn't have one for, actually, no, just kidding. Then we had Greg. And then it was like every other week we had one. We had Brilliantly Dumb on super early before he was even Bob Does Sports too, which was that was like our first
Whoa.
It's a
oh
big
shit
one.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah. How have I not listened to that one? I gotta go back. That's really early on.
July, yeah, episode 12.
Okay. Because I think the first time we were on with you guys, you guys were already in like the 50s? No, maybe 30s as far as episodes.
Oh, I'll find it.
Yeah.
I'll find it because we talked about how I have a Mexican name.
Yeah, that's crazy. So wow, you had Bob Does Sports on before Bob became Bob, as far as what he is today.
Yeah, and technically we had on Snappy Gilmore too before you guys.
I
Oh,
remember that one actually.
That one was weird. No offense to Snappy, he's a great dude, but it was kind of weird.
just the setup. Oh, he was just a little weird. As we're like,
No, it was more so the setup.
yeah.
Oh my God, you guys are episode 52.
Okay, yeah, that's
You're
what I
right.
thought.
It was September because it's football season.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I know we were somewhere in the 50s. Wow. Yeah. So you guys had some people pretty early on. Do you still connect with any of them? Like, do you reach out to Bob at all? And he's
Good
still,
luck.
yeah.
Good luck. I used to do this thing where at the end of we would call them season. At the end of every year, I would try to like say, hey, what's your address? I just want to send you a thank you card. Merry Christmas. Coming on. I would like handwrite the cards and everything, and I'd mail them. I'm kind of old fashioned like that. I like to thank people and like, you know what I mean? I think it's important.
Yeah.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's a
I
great
thought
touch.
so too. Never a word from him. We have not heard from him since.
Uh,
Hmm.
dang. I
Which
mean, the
is no
guys,
shade. I mean, no shade at Bob. He's
yeah.
busy. And, he started their own company and then he's Bob Does Sports and yeah, he's busy. But that episode was killer, dude. Dude came on, super fun, brought the energy. It was great.
That's gonna inspire me now to take a deep dive and go back to the early episodes because,
Don't go
yeah,
too
like
far
you
back.
said, because we came on around episode 50, so to go back and listen to potentially 49 other episodes, it's a lot to get through, but I will do it. I'll go back and deep dive. But
We had some bangers in there. We had like Evan from the Par Train on 40. I should reach back out to Evan. Um, yeah, there's some good ones in there. We had Molly, and the Molly episode was super cool. If you don't know who Molly is, you should definitely find out. Because like that was dope.
okay, yeah. No, yeah, it sounds like I'm telling you, there's a lot, like you said, you're coming up on episode 120, so there's a lot in
Yeah.
there. There's a lot of great content. I've definitely listened to a lot of them, but yeah, to get through 120 episodes of a podcast, that's a mission right there. So, um, no, I want to touch on something you just said about how you do the notes and can't kind of keep it old school.
Hmm.
I really like that too. But Raul, will give you a shout out because Dom just upgraded his swag. He's rocking the original hoodie, but he's got the new one at home as well. And we were chatting the other day, and he goes, "Hey man, I love the personal notes that Raul puts into the packages."
I
So
always do that, man.
No,
yeah,
I like it. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, look, it's people taking a dive on something they saw either on our Instagram page or word of mouth or something that they heard of and they're like, oh, we'll support the brand. So I mean, least we can do is give them a little bit of love, at least with a personal note. And some of the brands that I've purchased stuff in the past, the ones that do something like that, you'll remember them a little bit more than just general freaking Amazon type of purchase. So
Yeah.
why the
And
heck
you
not?
don't have. Yeah, you don't have to be super personal about it. You just say, hey, thanks for being a fan and buying this. Oh, and I'd be like, I'm buying it again. Although I don't need two of the same hoodies. Hate to break it to you guys, but I get I get the
Gotta
gray one
have
and the
different
black one.
colors, Dom.
yeah. We have 4 variations. You need all 4.
Ah, damn. Although that reminds me of my favorite part. I think it was the first episode where I was like, yeah, dude in Minnesota has got the pink towel. I got 2 of them now. I got 2 pink towels.
Yep.
Yeah, we had to give props where props are due, man.
I got 2 pink ones. I have one for almost every bag now. So
That's dope. Yeah. No, we got people that love to do that where they deck out each bag, which by the way, the fact that people have multiple bags, I have one bag. I'm happy with that one bag, but yeah, I need to get on that level where I'm having different bags for different types of rounds of golf.
oh, I don't do that. I just happen to have 4 bags and they just look kind of naked without towels on it. And
You have to have the two bag set up, man. You have the cart bag, you have the walking bag, and then the Sunday golf bag, dude. We got to give props to Sunday golf as well. That one comes
That's
in
I
handy
have
true.
for the
one.
little
Yeah,
par
that's the
threes.
only one. That's the only one I don't have a towel for yet.
Oh, we gotta take care of that, Greg.
Yeah, well, let's take care of that. Yeah, no, shout out Sunday. That is true. I do technically have 2 bags then because I do have my Loma bag from Sunday, which I love. I love that thing. I wish I could take that onto a full course and just walk with that little thing, but I can't carry 14 clubs in that.
Mine still has tags on it, so that's how much I've used it so far.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Look, it comes that the reason why I love the Sunday golf bag, honestly, when you go to the range, so that way you don't take your entire freaking bag and you go practice what you said you were gonna go practice. If you're gonna go practice your wedges, take your wedges and your wedges only, because when you take the entire bag, you're gonna do all sorts of practices that you weren't even intending to do. So that's one thing I learned. If I'm gonna go practice Sunday bag, 3 clubs in there, whatever I'm trying to work on, 1 wedge, 1 mid iron, and maybe my driver or my 3-wood or something like that. So it comes in super handy when you're hitting the range as well.
Yeah, and
That's a good point.
the start of last golf season, I bought a really nice vessel bag, and I was like, I just want something smaller, blah blah blah. Got it, my name embroidered, got a podcast logo that we'll never ever use embroidered on it. And then 3 months later, Derek's like, hey, this company's sending us golf bags. And I was like, damn it, Derek. And the bag is bigger, and I love it. And I don't think I'm a big fan of small bags anymore. I don't know.
That's the vessel bag that you got? Or
I paid for the vessel bag.
yeah,
And
then you got
Derek's like,
something.
hey, yeah,
and then
Derek's
got
like,
something.
hey, I got something for you. And I was like, damn it. Send it. Give me the link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dope. Man,
What bag was that, Dom? Do we need to give him a shout out? Because you said it was a
Omni
nice big
X.
bag.
Omni X. They're out of Japan or China? Japan.
oh, okay.
And mine is the Sakura. So it's black, pink accents. They're almost like a high fashion golf bag in a sense. Like it has clear pockets. It comes with 2 club covers. One's clear, one is a nice leather. Comes in the biggest dust bag I have ever seen. Yeah, they are super cool.
Okay. You said Omni X or
Omni X, OMNIX.
They
okay.
definitely have some interesting names to their bags. Right now I'm seeing Black Vodka 2.0, Sex on the Beach 2.0.
Yeah,
Okay.
those are the new
The
ones.
Black Hulk, Black Lake,
Yeah.
and Galaxy Battleship. Definitely Asian inspired bags. They're pretty nice, man.
Yeah.
But these are out here, especially in Southern California, we have a huge Korean golf community. And these are the type of bags that you will see, especially some of the older Korean folks, that when they go out to their country, they come back with some of these crazy looking bags. This is them right there.
So my favorite part of the bag, everyone's like, Dom, you probably love the clear pocket, the big pocket. I'm like, no, it's got 2 magnetic water bottle holders.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Like
And
to
the
hold like a
magnets,
full on hydro flask or
yeah, dude, they're huge. And the magnets are like really good magnets. But yeah, I was like, Derek, there's 2 water bottle holders. I called them. I was so
Huh.
pumped. It's the little things.
Dude, now you have me like pulling them up here. Omni X golf bags. Okay. Look, freaking Dom's not even on his own podcast right now. He's on another podcast and still giving shine to other brands. So
It's kind of what we do.
it's what you do. Yeah. You guys are the kings of doing that, man. There's a lot of other great podcasts and people that are giving shine, but no, dude, your guys' platform is just amazing at how you guys do that. And I mean, that kind of spirals, not spirals, or just kind of moves on to the fact that you guys do such a good job of like staying in communication with your guests. Kind of like how you were saying you do the notes and stuff like that. But we got to talk about the group chat. We got our Grub City group chat, which, dude, how many people are in that now?
Not enough. Like I think that at most there's 10.
No, there has to be more than
No,
that.
there has to be more than that.
Bro,
I think there's,
messages come flying like all day.
You know why?
I'm gonna go in there.
Because I added Daniel Alvarez, aka Mr. Misfit, and he's just like, "Is this Grub City?" And then just bang, 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 bang. You're just like, "Stop it!"
Oh, dude, whose idea was it to start that group chat? Actually, Was it you
Uh,
guys or
Jordan and I, yeah.
yeah,
Jordan from Odin and I, he's like, dude, we talk about food a lot. I'm like, dude, I love food.
yeah,
And then they started with Grub City, with just me, him, and Derek. And then I was like, we got to add more people because more people like food. So then
yep.
I think it was Beard from Sucker Pin, and then it just kind of gradually progressed.
Yeah, that chat is, I don't know. I think it's more than 10 people. Raul, I think Raul is looking right
I'm
now. He
looking it
can
up right now. Yeah.
confirm or deny, but yeah, no, I was actually talking to Nelson today about the chat, and we're like, dude, we love the chat, but there's days where like I'm busy at work and I have to mute it because it's just going off. I see pastrami sandwiches, I see chili cheese fries. You were talking about ordering tacos de cachete or de cabeza the other day.
Yeah, they wouldn't take my money. I was pissed.
Why would like it just wouldn't accept your debit card or your credit card or
No,
what?
well, I thought it was a card issue. So on
Yeah.
DoorDash, it said, "Hey, cannot." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll just use a different card." And then it didn't do it again. I was like, "I just want my tacos with a weird meat I've never had before. Just send it over. I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Just send it." And it didn't
Yeah.
happen. And I was like, "I'm just not gonna eat today." So I got really sad.
That
Oh,
sucks.
dang.
Dude, and Dom is on the money. It's actually, I mean, if you count us, Los Golferos account in there, it's 11 people. So 10 folks outside of the SavePar Golf Podcast
I
owners.
think, and I think Derek counts as like half because he's like never there.
Yeah, that's true. It's very rare that I see a Derek drop a message in there. He's
But
a
when
busy guy.
he does them in bunches.
Yeah. He's
I
like
think it's
catching
when
up.
I think it's when he drinks is the when he goes, "Oh, there's messages."
When he drinks, he knows things.
Well, he stopped drinking for Lent, so I can't wait for him to start drinking again because then that's when the messages are gonna fly.
No, he's gonna come Fast and Furious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hilarious. But no, hey, that's even more impressive though, because to have 10 guys in a group chat and then have them all consistently contributing to the conversation. Because I've been in group chats before where it's like, yes, we do have like 20, 30 guys in there, and it's like two guys talking. So it's just like,
Mhm.
what was the point of the group chat, guys? Like, let's keep it going. Let's keep the conversations going. So no, that's really cool. Um, I gotta ask, how do you decide who gets into that group chat? Because obviously there's 120 episodes, probably 80 guests. You know,
Yeah.
but
So it's actually funny because I've had people like DM me like, "Hey, we want to join the chat." I'm just like, block. No, you don't ask to join. Also,
dang.
generally, if you ask to join something, you're kind of annoying and you didn't need to be there in the first place.
Yeah,
Yes, that is a shot. No, I don't care. Um,
Love it.
bang bang.
um, I don't know. It really comes down to I'm like, if I'm messaging somebody all the time, I'm like, yeah, let's add them. I'm at the point where like my own personal Instagram shows more food than the golf page. So I'm like, do I add my own personal page to the list? But then I'm like, I'm getting blown up on two accounts. I'm like, no, no.
Got to keep it somewhat under control, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't need two of me sending the same stuff over and over and then having to reply, and I'm just like, no. I think it just comes down to like, obviously we all have to get along, right? So I'm not gonna bring in somebody that doesn't like you guys or doesn't like Nelson or Brendan or Brian or whoever, but it just kind of has to work. Sometimes it's just organic
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But yeah, not every guest is gonna be in there because not every guest continues to really talk to us, and you guys will figure it out too. It's not a bad thing by any means. It's just some people
Mhm.
are just, hyper busy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's 100%. There's definitely a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's definitely been organizations in the past that we worked with, and just for whatever reason, they've gone a different route, we've gone another, and it's,
Hmm.
yeah, no animosity, just it is
No,
what it
it's
is,
not.
right?
Yeah, it's never a bad thing. It's just kind of human nature where, you go one way, we go the other, it doesn't align. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah. So the point of this podcast, Dom, is just to let you know this is our goodbye. No, I'm just kidding.
Dude.
This is where we let you go.
All
No,
right,
I'm
That's
kidding.
my
and
husband's not here.
No, I'm just playing. Um, But diving back into the podcast, like I said, you are the Jedi Master. We are the Padawans. What were some of those initial growing pains with the podcast, if there were any? Like, did you guys feel that you had it right off the bat, or was there something that kind of was a
We
stick in the mud?
did. We had like 7 episodes that we just didn't air because it was us practicing. So our first
Mm,
episode was really like our eighth. Um, and it got to the
really?
point where I think Derek's wife got kind of upset that we were taking over her space and then had nothing to really show for it other than, hey, it sounds really good. We figured out how to set up everything. Um, to me, the big growing pain is just being seen and being heard.
Mm-hmm.
But part of that's like with anything, right? Like Gold Skull Fairways didn't just blow up overnight, right? It's hard work, it's dedication, it's figuring out what works, what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you guys trying to figure out the towel recipe. You guys bought one from that guy and you're like, these are great, and then you washed it and it sucked. How do you fix that? Well, cool. That's where you guys started. See, I know the story. I listen.
Yeah, yeah, he's
Um,
got it.
Love
I
it.
got it. Um, to me, the issue I keep running into is how do we continue to get better? How do we continue to evolve? How
Yeah.
do we just not turn into the same thing week after week after week? Um, because I felt like the first before we started having guests on a consistent basis, I felt like Derek was starting to get kind of that burnout where it's like, great, now we have to talk about another event. Dom's not prepared as usual. Like, how do we change this? So I feel like having a fresh guest every week helps, and even revisiting guests keeps it fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how do we continuously evolve this? How do we get better? Um, and obviously you and I have talked about it. For me, the big headache was the equipment. I wish I had
Mm-hmm.
started off with the XLR setup, but at that point in the world, being 2021, like nothing was super easily accessible. Nothing was very affordable. I mean, it's still not affordable now.
Yeah.
Um, but we learned the hard way that you can't use two USB mics. Like the computer just cannot decide which one to use.
Mm-hmm.
So like little things here and there, but it's nothing has been like, oh my God, we gotta stop, or nothing's really been major or anything like that. Um, have we had bumps along the road? Yeah. Who hasn't? It happens, whatever, you keep moving, but there's never been a moment where I was like, wow, we cannot do this anymore.
Yeah. That's good. No, yeah. I mean, everything is going to take growing pains, right? And that's kind of why I asked, because um you actually make me feel a lot better in the sense that with the fact that you're saying that it took seven kind of warm up episodes, because
Mm-hmm.
if you ask Raul, our first technically there is a ghost episode out there. Um, our growing pain was that I drove all the way up to LA. So for those listening or watching, I live in San Diego. Raul and the rest of the guys are up in the LA area, and get up there. We play a great round of golf over at Sand Canyon. So we're pretty tired. We've had drinks, and I'm like, yo, nobody pass out on me. We're going to Raul's house. We're filming episode one, like, because I mean, look, it's tough to get Derek sometimes on. He was scheduling. I get it. Life happens. So imagine me trying to wrangle 4 other guys. So we get there, we start filming everything, get everything set up, and have this great conversation. It was actually a really, really good episode. We were all stoked and happy. Like we stopped the recording. We're like, yeah, like that was great, cool. I get home, Dom, the next morning. I go in. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna start editing. The file was corrupted. Something was wrong with my
Mm.
SD card. Don't know what happened. And it was just like no files found. And I went into it. I had like these mini testers where I just hopped on like this and was like, hey, is this mic working? Those were all there. But the full on hour long episode that we had recorded was just gone.
Yeah. I've never had that happen, mainly because I save it directly to my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's what I get around that. So that's not really a pro tip, but that's just me being lazy tip. Um, I also have like a ton of cameras. I take a ton of pictures and everything. I've
Yeah.
never had an SD card go bad. So maybe you're my good luck charm. So maybe yours will keep going bad and mine will still be fresh.
Oh, dang. No, don't say that. Our recorder has a test. So I run that test now every time. As soon as I turn it on, I run that test to make sure the SD card is working now. So that was
Yeah.
our growing pain.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of really cool episodes. Like we've had one in-person guest, and we're very lucky and gracious. It was at the 3M Open. We had the guys from Vibes, so it was No Way in the crew. Um, I forgot to switch our microphone to pick up everything.
Mm,
And I still kick myself for that because I'm like, it could have sounded so better or so much better. It could have sounded so good.
mm-hmm.
And it's just me. I'm just like, damn it. And that's not something you just go back and say, okay, guys, we're just going to redo it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It still sounded okay, but I'm like, it could have been better.
Right. Yeah. Is that something that you like maybe consciously thought about? Because you guys do a lot of episodes like this, right? You guys are virtual over Zoom calls, stuff like that. So going into that 3M Open, did you kind of go through like a little checklist of like, this is what I need to do different? Or were you just like, oh, it's going to be the same, and you just kind of like walked into it? Is that kind of where that came
So
from? Or
part of it was I'm like, cool. I had like 40 pounds of equipment, and Derek had like a bottle of water, and it's hot. And I'm like, Derek, you gotta help me. And he's like, I'll carry the microphone. I'm like, fine. I've got my laptop, my camera, my tripod, um, everything. So I'm like, cool. I
yeah.
got to make sure I have everything as a mental checklist going. And we were told that the Vibes guys would come on like a half hour later.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, cool, I got tons of time. We're going to talk about the 3M Open. And then by the time we're getting on talking, the Vibes guys will show up and we'll just be great. We'll flip the switch. They
Mm-hmm.
showed up like 10 minutes in.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, damn, they are early. And I'm like, that's not a bad thing. Like, I would say, like, we're good with all of them. No Way's one of the guys, you
Mm-hmm.
know, they're all super cool dudes. And I was like, we're dapping each other up. It just didn't even dawn on me to be like, hold on, flip that switch. It was
Mm-hmm.
one of the things where I'm like, it's happening so fast.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, I should have just been like, Dom, slow down, take a breath. Or really, I should have had Derek been like, stop it. Um, that's where he and I play really well off of each other. Is my ADD will take us in a total different direction than where we should be going, and Derek will bring it back around. So at that moment, I just totally forgot because I'm like, I got to make sure he doesn't knock my camera over. There's just a lot going on in a short amount of time.
Yeah. That's so true, dude. And that's kind of like I and Raul and I have had conversations about this because Raul's kind of the same, for he and I are peas in a pod where like I'm kind of going crazy thinking about all these ideas, and he's kind of the one that kind of wrangles me in a little bit. He's like, well, hold on, bro. He's like, did you think of this? And I'm like, fine, I'll think about that. I'll plan for that. And he's like,
You gotta be strategic about things, man.
strategery. And you know what's funny? What's really funny about that role, if we really think about like our family and everything, I'm the planner. So I plan a lot of things. So I am very strategic, but I don't know why with Los Golferos, like I just get super excited about like what we're doing. So my whole planning thing kind of goes out the window. It's like, I guess it's kind of like a free space for me because I know I have Raul who's going to check in on me. So I love you, bro.
Yeah, but look, love you as well, buddy. But it's one of those things where like when you're so close to it and when it's such a look, let's be honest, it's such a big part of your life, you kind of just want to run with it. And sometimes like just holding yourself back is one of the most challenging things. So it is what it is.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, like I'm between Derek and I'm definitely the more, I don't want to say impulsive one, but it's definitely me. Where a good example is, so the shindig we threw in California, I'm like, Derek, what is your birthday? He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what is your birthday and the year,
Yeah.
please? He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm booking our flights. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, just give me your birthday before I message your wife. And he gave me, I was like, cool, we're flying out here and here, done. And he goes, why did you do that? I'm like, because if we don't do it now, we're
Yeah.
not going to have flights booked.
Yep.
And in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm right. Derek's wrong. In reality, I was like, he's mad.
Sometimes you just got to pull the trigger, man. You just got to do it because otherwise, you're just gonna keep pushing it out, pushing it out. It's like what they say, right? When you're planning for something, if you don't set a date and time, it's not going to happen. You're just like, yeah, I'll get it done before then, or like in the next month or so. A next month or so becomes 2 months or so, 3 months or so, and no, you kind of you do have to have a little bit of that impulsiveness and just kind of go with it and just do it.
Yeah, I was like, Derek, we'll be fine. We got our flights booked. Here's your itinerary. I'll see you in like a week. Bye. Cool off. You'll be okay.
Yeah. Like, were you just like buying the flight for him, or was like, hey, Derek, I just spent this much money and you need to come home with it in a week, or what was that like?
No, so initially, it's probably the latter. I'm like, hey, here's what it costs. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Initially, what we did was, he booked the Airbnb. I booked the flights.
Mm,
I was having some car issues where it's like right before we left, I had to replace like my axles in my car and some other stuff. So I'm like, cool. Now all the money I was gonna give Derek went into my car.
Oh,
Luckily, he's very understanding, and I paid him back in full. Just not right away. We ended up using like the money that he was gonna pay me back for the flight. I was like, don't even pay it back because I'm just gonna give that straight back to you for the Airbnb. So we
yeah.
just took the whatever amount off what I owed for the Airbnb. But yeah, I mean, there's always a way to figure it out, and he and I are really good about sitting down, being like, hey, if I buy this, whatever, blah blah blah. But he's also good about paying me back. Like I bought 2 sets of the lav mics. I went a little overboard. Uh, that was an impulsive buy, and he's
Yeah.
like, I'll pay for half. I was like, cool, here's half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because also the flip side too, for those that don't know, Derek is a married man, so definitely when you're a married man, you kind of have your better half on the other side, like where's that money going? So he's probably like, Dom, you're gonna get me in trouble.
Yeah, I'm definitely not his better half. It's definitely not me. It's definitely his wife. His wife is beautiful. Puts up with me and Derek.
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But dude, let's talk shindig. So we've definitely spent a couple episodes talking about previous about the previous shindig, but kind of right before we jumped on, we were talking about the fact that the flyer is out for the next shindig out in your home state in Minnesota. Dude, are you excited? What are you looking forward to that? Like, what's your
It's
vibe
still
right
kind
now?
of it's still kind of surreal. So the whole planning process, we're like, where are we gonna do this? Initially, we were like, cool, let's go to Pacific Northwest, let's go to Washington, Oregon. And
Mm,
then somewhere was like, no, let's go back to California. So then you and I were talking, we're like, dude, let's do it in San Diego.
yeah.
And then like another part of that was like, ah, we can't travel. And I was like, well, you could, you just don't want to without so and so. And I was like, whatever. And I was like, what if we just do it at home? Like, let's do it here. We've thrown a tournament here before. It didn't sell out, but now we have the better planning and everything, and now there's
Mhm.
people backing it. Um, so it'll be July 20th, 2024, Emerald Greens Golf Course in Hastings, Minnesota,
Okay.
right outside of St. Paul. It's a beautiful course. The reason Derek and I picked that one, we played at the Random Golf Club event there, the Mad Scramble. So
Hmm.
it was super fun just to walk a couple holes and mingle with everybody. And when we were planning, I was like, why don't we just go there? We know the course already. With enough parking, there's enough space. They have a really cool like outdoor bar simulator thing.
Oh, okay.
Um, it's super cool. So it's really surreal to have people fly into our home state because it's not that Minnesota isn't beautiful. It's just that
Mhm.
nobody ever goes, let's go to Minnesota. You know what I mean? It's cold half the year, and then the other half the year it's like 85 and humid. Funny enough, when we flew back from California, it was
Mhm.
warmer at home than it was in California. It's like that all
yeah, but you
summer.
were also in Northern California.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got to distinguish that. Northern California, especially the Bay Area, is a lot chillier than Southern California.
It was warmer here. Don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. It was like
Yeah.
95 and humid.
No, that without
Yeah.
a doubt. Like that's why some people will always say like, oh yeah, Northern California has better weather than Southern California. But that's because it's people that don't like to be out in the sun.
Yeah.
SoCal's
I
nice
don't
and
like
warm.
I just don't like being all like sweaty. I don't know. I don't like being like super hot. You can only take off so much before it's weird.
Hey, sun's out, guns out, baby. Come on.
That's why we hit the
Um
gym, man.
Yeah.
Gym tan
Yeah.
laundry, isn't that what they used to say? No, just kidding.
Oh God. Um, but yeah, Shindig, Minnesota. Um, we have a full camera crew, media crew coming out. Local guys too, which is super cool.
Mhm.
They put me in charge of planning, so like I'm head planner in a way, which is about as scary as it sounds, especially if you've ever listened to like a handful of our episodes. You're like, what the hell? I am planning it. Um, so we're doing like you guys didn't come because you guys had to drive up, but the night before the shindig, we all went out. I partied a little too hard, and
Yeah, you
we just
did.
went downtown San Jose for the night. We're doing that again, but in Minneapolis. So no matter what, Derek can just drag me home and I'll be okay. Um, we're going to a super cool local brewery. And then a handful of us are going to the Twins game after
Oh,
on
let's
Sunday.
go.
So
Yeah.
just kind of, be a fun weekend for everybody. We really what we want to do with these is have people explore different parts of the US but
Mhm.
play golf with like-minded people. I think that's a great way to look at it. Obviously California, we're like, cool, it's a destination. We'll get people there. And obviously we know a lot of people there. You guys are there, Nelson's there. We had the ability to send everything to Jordan's parents' house who live in Sunnyvale. So it's just super
Oh,
easy.
nice.
Um, so now we're like, let's just bring it, Minnesota, see who wants to brave the weather, even though it's not going to be bad. It's going to be hot and sunny in July. Um, yeah, the whole thing is just connect people all around the country. And so far it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a
No.
blast, dude. I'm
Yeah, and
looking
you
at
guys
pictures of the
did.
golf course already. There's an island hole that's going to be calling a lot of people's names as far as the ball's going into the water. So that's
So
going to be
there's
an interesting
there's
hole.
there's actually two courses on the property.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
okay.
saying it's a 36 hole
Yep.
facility.
Yep. So we
Is
are
it like an
doing
exec and a full, or is it two full
no, they're
parts of
two
each?
full.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're two full. I believe we're doing oh fuck. Oh, I want to say it's the gold. Whatever course is longer, because there's a longer one of the two. We're doing the longer course. I don't know if that includes the island, but oh my god, they are both stunning. And for the price that we're gonna be asking, it's almost a bargain.
Really?
So
Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
'cause
Yeah.
we don't want to charge people too much and be like, oh, that's kind of snobby. But we also don't want to charge people not enough to where we lose money. Obviously, there's
Of course not.
Yeah.
there's a fine line, right? So I think we hit that fine line. But yeah, it should be a good time. The weather's
Yes.
probably gonna be great. So I'm pretty pumped for it. I'm already like looking forward to everybody flying in and be like, yo, we're in Minneapolis. Where are you? And I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'm in the suburbs hanging out. Yeah.
So looking at the scorecards, it looks like you're talking about the silver course, which from the Blues plays at 70-63.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a gold and a silver course. So yeah, but the pictures on this place look amazing. So I'm already looking forward to that. And yeah, the Bogies Pub and Simulator as well in there. So
hmm
Ooh, yeah.
yeah, it
What
looks like a
what's
fun
the
spot, man.
what's the date on it again, Dom?
July 20th.
July 20th. That's a Saturday. So for those of you that are listening, July 20th, it's a Saturday, going out to Minnesota. Got a beautiful course. There's an island green that's just waiting to take your golf balls. So
And
there you
it's a
go.
130 shotgun. Mainly because it was either like super duper early, and as we all know,
You weren't gonna make it, dude.
Dom is not a morning guy.
not gonna make it.
We should have
Oh,
had the 6 a.m. tee off, dude. Come on, Dom.
Dude, it was like I think it
Come
was
on,
like
man.
7 a.m. tee off, and I'm like, dude,
Perfect.
like we gotta be there by 5:30 to set up. We gotta check people. I'm like, no, let's just do 1:30. We'll give people lunch beforehand. Um,
And by lunch, you
and
mean
just make
booze,
sure
right?
everybody's hydrated.
Yeah.
No, we actually have like lunch for everybody.
No,
Booze,
no,
right?
it should be booze, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Okay, the
bringing out the
interesting
pony
is,
cans.
yeah, Ralph, how are we gonna do it, dude? We gotta
Yeah.
talk to Blue Fire, see how we can import some La Cheve into Minnesota territory.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need a
We'll
lot of
figure it
lunch,
out.
Eve.
Dude, we got another batch brewing soon. We're setting up a brew day for next month, so
That's
it'll
all
be
I
ready.
remember from the first shindig is La Cheve. That's all I need to remember. That
Yeah.
and then me with the 2 Modelos running around. That's all I need to
It's
remember.
Modelo time, fool. It was
Modelo
Modelo
time.
time. That was
Oh
awesome,
man.
man. I know there was definitely a lot of great memories made at the Shindig. So yeah, I'm excited for the next one, and just yeah, like the fact that it's going to be in your hometown. I think that's really cool for us that we're close to you guys. We're like, dude,
Mhm.
we gotta support the boys. The fact that
Oh,
it's
we'll be out there.
yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be my first time traveling with my clubs like that, so I need to figure that out. So if you have any tips, Dom, since you've done it already, please send those my way. I do not want to lose my P790s. So
Uh, I got kind of lucky. I emailed Bag Boy and I was like, "Hey, we're throwing this tournament. Do you guys want to work with us?" And they're like, "Hey, we're out of money to like sponsor." And I was like, "That's cool. Can you send us some bags?"
yeah,
And they're like, "Yeah, make 3 reels and we're even." And I was like, "Easy." So I got one with like really nice hard shell cover. Actually, we're
oh,
Bag Boy affiliates.
hey, bag boy,
Oh, hey, share the code.
yeah, come on.
I can get a code. I don't have a code. I'll get a code for you guys.
Let's
Hey,
Um,
go.
yeah. So that definitely helped because mine has like a nice hard shell around just the top of my clubs.
yeah,
And then it has compression straps in it, and then I just loaded it with clothes. We had so much stuff to bring back
yeah,
home. You remember all those like flags on the back of
Yeah.
the golf
yeah,
course we
yeah.
had with like the big sticks? I have all the sticks.
Really?
Like all of them.
Oh,
I took them all home. I shoved them all in my golf bag. I don't know where I put them, but I have them.
you just have tons of shafts everywhere.
Dude, I have the flags.
What,
Dang.
dude? We should
You know how
bring
many
him
Los
out
Golf
again, man.
Pro? I have so many
Yeah,
Los Golf Pro flags.
Oh, I have some in my garage. I mean,
yeah,
I have those hanging there, man. I love those things.
You
yeah.
want more?
Hey,
Sure.
I'll take
Yeah.
them. We'll be picking them from you
I have
directly.
I have
Yep.
a ton. I shouldn't say that. I have a ton, but I was gonna reuse them, but they say first annual on them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't,
that
for
was
the
a crowning
collection.
mistake.
Now we have the first annual, second annual, and then soon to come, we'll start talking about the third annual.
Oh
Oh
heck
God,
yeah, dude.
third one. We're gonna go straight to Mexico.
Let's
Please,
go.
please, bro.
Oh please.
There's this course at Nayarit that I started following through our page recently. Um, man, I'm gonna get the name wrong. La Higuera, in Nayarit, Mexico.
Yeah,
Oh my,
Higuera.
Higuera. Thank you. Um, dude, that course looks amazing, and I've been like just vicariously living through Instagram posts. And last month I went to go play at a scramble tournament, and our buddy Frankie, who went to the Shindig with us, that was the first time we met him. He came to the Shindig. I like to call him the Anthony Bourdain of golf. We're gonna get him on the pod, but this dude has traveled everywhere, I feel like, to go play. And I brought it up to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, bro, I was just out there not too long ago." He's like, "You get to the turn, shout out Nelson. They have tacos at the turn, and they're just pouring shots of tequila."
I'm in. I,
I'm like, "Bro,
I'm sold. We're
You know
going.
what the crazy thing is, though?
bottomless."
I will say this. It is a beautiful course, but look at the price tag. You're going to
I
spend
don't
more
want to look at the
money
price
out
tag.
there. You're going to spend more. Golf has gotten so ridiculous in Mexico because there's not too many golf courses.
Yeah,
Those golf courses are more expensive than some of the premium golf courses in the States because they know it's a tourist area. It's not, you're not going to have locals going to play those courses. Because I think I looked at the price tag for that, and I could be wrong. I don't know if it got higher or lower, but it wasn't even prime time. Middle of the day round was setting you back 550 US dollars.
okay, good,
Okay,
thank
I'm a
God. I
little
mean,
less in now.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
dude.
I was like, ooh, it's a beautiful course. It is a
Like
gorgeous course, but
I thought the Half Moon Bay price tag was kind of like yikes. And then that kind of I was like, oh man, I'd rather play Half Moon Bay again for like the 350 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
yeah, that's a downside because they know it's, US tourists or global tourists, let's be honest, that are
yeah,
going to go out there and golf. It's not designed for the local player. So that even the ones right across the border, dude, look at how expensive Bahamut has gotten out
yeah,
here
yeah.
in Baja California. And I mean, they know it's like people going from San Diego to play out in Baja California. It's gotten pricey.
Yeah, they're
So
hitting
that's,
like 150 now, right?
yeah,
175. Yeah, they're getting
175, I
pricey.
think. Yeah, let
Yeah,
me see. I'll take a look at it right now. But last time I checked, yeah, if I remember correctly, about 175 around. And it's a nice course. It's a really nice course, but it's like, all right, that's pretty premium for out here, even in the States.
that's you're basically paying Tory prices at that point, because Tory you're paying about 190 to go play there, so makes sense. No, the that course that I'm telling you, Dom, that I saw down there in Nayarit, first time I pulled up the prices, I was like, oh dear Lord, please let this be in pesos. Please let this be in pesos. And then, because it was like 6,500, and I was like, oh, please don't tell me this is how much it really costs. I was like, even if this is in pesos and translates to dollars, I was like, this is still really pricey. But yeah, to Raul's point, yes, it's about $500 to play there. So what we need to do is we need to figure out the taco tequila to dollar ratio. So how much of
To
that
get the
do
bang
we
for your
need?
buck.
Yeah, how much of that do we need to eat and consume to be like, okay, like we got our money's worth out of this?
Do you think they'd let us each take a bottle?
Ooh,
You know what I mean? Like depending what kind of tequila it is, maybe it'd be like, hey, let's just take this bottle to go type
yeah,
deal. You know, we can have it back never.
I'm
And
down to shoot them a message. They've
the,
responded to
the,
me a couple times, so
the
Oh, that's
customer's
nice.
always right.
yeah. So Shindig number 3 down in Mexico. Is that where we're going?
That'd be sweet. You don't have to, I mean, the hard part is you don't have to convince me to do anything. I'm
I
there.
know, I know. You're down for everything. That is true.
Basically, yeah.
Down Dom. That's what he is.
Nah,
Hey,
I don't know.
actually, what we could do, Raul, because Raul and I kind of looked at this one time. I forget, we were talking to one of his buddies who was going to get married down in Ensenada, and we were talking about um, Bahamar. I think you can rent out their hacienda, like that whole section of like hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it comes with golf roll. Is that what it was, or like you get
Yeah,
a discount?
it was a package if I remember correctly. So what he was doing, he was booking a block essentially of that villa, and it came with hotel rooms. And if I remember correctly, he was saying that he was going to get tea times at 115, $120 per person, which for a
Probably cheaper.
ocean facing course is pretty darn good. But yeah,
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the discounted price. So I'm not sure how that was all worked out, but yeah, it was for his wedding. That was a compromise because his wife didn't want him to have too much of a wild bachelor party. They're like, look, we're already gonna be out there. Do what you got to do with your boys on the golf course, and I kind of have you near me. So that was a compromise.
So what?
She's like the only
So
golf
what
cart
you're
away.
saying is one of us has to get married, and we got
Let's
to get
go,
married
Dom.
Now,
there.
Dom, you're
Uh,
up.
Ralph
That's
is
it.
married.
You're
I'm
our
married.
age.
Derek is there, so that leaves you, dude.
Ah, Derek is married. Yeah. Damn it.
You should have Derek ask his wife if they want to renew their vows.
Renew the
And
vows.
we go celebrate it down there in Bahamar.
Yeah. That. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. For like legal reasons.
For legal
Uh,
reasons. Oh, what?
yeah. Like DACA stuff and
Ah, okay.
yeah.
All right, all right, all right. I hear you. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, moving on. No, not trying to whistleblow our own people over here.
Nope,
Um,
not at all.
Oh
yeah,
man.
that's funny. Um, but no, dude, that's really cool. I know we kind of digressed a little bit from the shindig, but yeah. So
Well, we went to part 3 without actually getting the full details of part 2. So part 2, who do we already
yeah,
have on the guest list that's confirmed, Dom?
exactly.
So obviously I'm going. Derek's going. We got Jordan from Odin
You guys are the
flying.
host. I would hope
I
so.
would hope you're there. Yeah.
I mean, assuming I make it, yeah. It's funny because I live like an hour away. Like, although from what it sounds like, Derek's gonna make me stay with him. That way I don't get too like lost in the sauce, I guess. Um, with everybody. So we got Jordan's flying in from Berlin.
Oh,
Odin
okay.
golf, baby.
Yep.
So
Odin
that's
golf.
gonna
Let's
be
go.
sweet. We can't do a shindig without Jordan.
Yep.
But they can do a shindig without me. That's not here nor there. That happened.
The
Um, so we see.
Arizona one.
Yeah, was not there. I was not invited. Um, I was definitely invited. We got Beard and Juju flying in from NorCal. Sucker
Okay.
pin.
Sucker pin.
There we go. Sucker
We
pin.
got Greg driving up from Ohio from Pinehurst 6.
Nice.
Nice. Yep.
It's mainly just like our close friends coming for now. I'm assuming I'll have my group of buddies. I think there's been another couple. I think Four Bros. They sent me a message like, "Hey, if we fly into Minnesota, where are we flying?" I'm like, "You're flying to MSP. It's this and that." And they go, "Oh, we might come visit you fuckers." I was like, "That's exactly what we don't need." But chances are Four Bros are coming.
There we go.
That's gonna be kind of scary. It's gonna be a party. It's gonna be a good guest list. Obviously sponsors right now. We got like a NutriShop sponsoring, which is gonna be dope. Some local companies. Bogies are fine. Shout out Ryan and Steve. We're gonna have Birdie Vision Media on the cameras. That would be Hack Dripless on Instagram. If you don't follow him, he's doing all sorts of cool stuff.
Okay.
It's still really early because it's March, so we still have tons of time. We have almost exactly 4 months to the day to keep figuring it out.
That's good. That's gonna fly, bro. That is gonna fly.
Dude, I'm well aware. I blinked and it was March.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you tell me about
No
it. Yeah.
kidding, man.
So
No
it's still
kidding.
kind of early. Obviously, we don't have like registration up yet, so we don't know who is exactly coming, other than saying, "Hey, we're coming."
Mhm.
But yeah, it should be a good time. Minnesota is a beautiful place. It's my home. Will always be my home. Golf is great here. We just gotta have people see it firsthand.
Yeah. No,
And we'll be out there.
stoked, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I'm all
We
about
gotta get you
seeing other
guys
parts
on
of
some
the
like
country, so-
Minnesota slang.
Oh, teach us.
As long as we don't get shot at, we're good, Tom. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it, man.
See, slang out
Oh.
here gets you shot. I don't know about in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, we just like say like on it. Everyone's like, man, you guys probably say "don't you know" and "ope" all the time. We're like, unironically, yeah.
And I'm
Hot
all
damn.
for that, bro. I'm all for that. I've told you my Wisconsin story. Like going in, I wanted to hear the whole Midwestern like.
Oh, Wisconsin, we don't claim Wisconsin.
I know you do, but
Nobody claims. They're their own. Wisconsin's just Ohio, but a little farther north.
I've never heard that before. Okay. That's funny.
Some
Wisconsin's
beef
good
right
for-
there that's unknown.
I know, right? Like Dom feels some type of way right now.
Nobody likes Ohio. Wisconsin's good for beer and cheese. The Dakotas can kick rocks.
Oh dang, okay. We're getting a full on like
Oh man, he's having his Tupac moment right about now.
I know, right? He's
Iowa's
like,
Iowa.
F you. You're cool.
It's like the Key and Peele sketch. He's like, oh, 1/8 black. What's going on, Octoroon? Just it's basically what it is here in the Midwest.
Oh man, dude. All right, guys. If you couldn't tell, this is what kind of stuff we're gonna get into at the shindig. But like,
This is us doing this sober. Now we got to add some boost to the mix.
Yeah.
Dude, if you somehow can fly with La Cheve, it's gonna go wild.
Okay, so we got to talk to the boys over at Blue Fire.
Yeah.
See what we can do here to import.
I wonder. I mean, technically, you can fly with a firearm if you check it. Can I check in beer?
Can I check a pony keg?
I can. I'll do
How would like the pressurization and everything work though?
get a full keg, but only 3/4 fill it. I don't know. There's got to be some math in there.
I'm not good at math. Hate to break it to you guys.
Hey man, look, if we have
That's why
to
with Tommy.
FedEx ground ship it or UPS ground ship it, we'll figure it out.
All of the stores that I am the manager of are a UPS drop off point. So my staff might go down. What did you order? But it'll get there.
If we show up and it's just completely empty, I won't be mad.
Oh, I thank you.
That's just a testament to La
man.
Cheve. It's a testament to La Cheve if we show up and it's just completely gone already.
Yeah.
Man. Worst case scenario, how long is the drive? And now I'm gonna start mapping it out right now.
Are we cross country road tripping, Raul?
Dude, if it means we get the goods out to Minnesota, we can always Get the Sprinter van again.
I'm so down. The funny thing is, of Los Golferos, Raul and I are the ones that like we could drive and just not care.
Yeah.
Everyone else will just be like, bro, this drive is going so long, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, you're stuck in the van now.
You're stuck until we get to point B, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's about 1889 miles, about 28-hour drive, dude.
28
From
hours.
LA to Minnesota. It's about a 2-day drive.
Yeah, it's a 2-day drive. So we need 2 days to go and 2 days to come back, unless we just like drop the car off and then fly back.
All of the joy left Ralph's face as soon as he said 28 hours. He was like, "Fuck."
No, that wasn't joy. That was locking in. That's like this is happening. We're okay. Like we're going driver mode here. Baby driver.
Oh,
on this.
trust the drive there is going to be the blast. The drive back is the one. To your point, maybe we just drop it off there and just fly back.
Yeah, I'll pay Tommy for the keg. It's okay. They're not getting the shell back. They're like, Ralph, where's my keg? It's like, yeah, guys,
Some
it didn't
dude
make
in
it back.
Minnesota has it.
Minnesota has it now.
Yeah, it's for the people.
Dom's just gonna keep it in his house. Just be like,
Souvenir.
I have a souvenir of La Cheve. It's out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if we're gonna do that, then we gotta talk to the printer and make a sticker big enough to put on the keg.
Oh my gosh, yes, we need a keg sticker. Yes.
We need the keg sticker. We have them for the crowlers. We need it for the freaking keg now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I have homework now. Thanks, Dom.
Always something with me.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Well, no, dude, this has been an awesome conversation, and we're getting towards the end here. Not done just yet. But I kind of wanted to ask you, Dom. So you are an awesome supporter of ours, a homie of a homie. I mean, for those of you that are listening, Dom and I communicate almost every day, whether it's about shoes, whether it's about podcast stuff, or just golf, whatever it is. So, dude, yeah, you definitely have been holding it down for us, and Derek as well. I know he does it the best way he can, the way he can. But you've listened to all the episodes. Is there any advice you can give us? We're on episode 5. What have you learned so far from us? What can we do better?
I mean, I haven't really learned anything because it's like I know so much about you guys, and that's not like a negative. I promise you, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just like the episode 1 I was listening, I'm like, I know all of this because it's like I've experienced it, like not physically, but like you've been on 2 of ours. I kind of know the Golfero story, and I love it. Every time I hear it, I love it because it's just like the drive and the passion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how I would improve it because you guys do it. I don't want to say differently than us, but like your setup's different. You guys have your own style to it. I would hate to interject and say, hey, I would do this. And then all of a sudden you're just a SavePar Podcast clone.
Okay. Yeah.
We could be worse, Dom. We could be worse.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair take. Yeah. Okay.
You
cool.
do
No,
what you do have to have Hector on here more consistently though.
We
That's
do.
more of a
We
Hector
can get him a
factor.
damn computer that works apparently.
Yeah.
So
Hex was supposed to be on this episode, guys.
I know.
But he is our Derek, where he has every freaking IT problem that there is known to man. So, right
But
on.
other than that, I mean, like, it sounds good. You've had good guests so far where I was like, huh. Like, I remember I might have been after the Nueve episode, and I was like, man, that's super cool. And obviously, I already follow him. I didn't know he was at the Shindig. I wish I would
Yeah.
have. I would have introduced myself because I think his belts are incredibly cool.
Yeah.
I don't understand a lot of the history and the story behind it, but to me, it's also something I can learn about. It takes a couple minutes for me to read something. But I remember I was like, man, I didn't realize how, I don't want to say frowned upon golf is in the Latino community, but I remember I asked, I'm assuming it was Ralph, because both of you run the page. I never know who I'm talking to half the time. Kind of the beauty of it.
It's primarily Ralph. When I jump in there, I'll say like, hey, it's Raul.
Oh, got it. Okay. So I remember I asked, I'm like, is it still frowned upon with all this up and coming talent within the Latino golf people on whether it's Live or PJ like Joaquin Neiman. Um, he was the one that came to my mind. I'm sure there's others, but it's like I right away I thought of Neiman because he's so
Yeah.
young, he's so talented. Um, and I think that aspect of it is so interesting for me to learn about because obviously growing up white, can't change it, probably will never change it. Kind of a weird thing to change. It's not something that I get to experience firsthand. So what you guys are doing, opening up your guys' not only lives, you know, because a lot of this is you're putting yourself out there, and it's so weird for people to like comprehend that. But you're
Mhm.
also putting your guys' culture out there, and from that end, I really appreciate it because it's something that I'll never really understand, and I'm okay with that. But it's something that I think more golfers should understand where, you know, the Latino community is coming from and stuff like that. Because I think it is important that golf is for everybody.
Yeah. Dude, and honestly, like when you sent me that message about that, like, whoa, I didn't know it was like this, and you legitimately asked questions, like you were
Hmm.
interested in kind of figuring out what that quote unquote tension or that stigma is, and that made me really happy because obviously we say, hey, we want to build the community, we want to build that space for Mexicans, Latinos to feel like, hey, there I do have a community in the golf world, but it was really cool the flip side of it saying, hey, other people want to learn about it so that they can improve or maybe help out in that journey of getting others to feel included in the golf space because
Hmm.
everyone's story is a little bit different, you know, as far as what that tension looks like going into golf. um because I it's funny, there even within our own culture. So one of Raul's, you know, favorite quotes, uh maybe not favorite, but one that he uses a lot is, you know, a Mexican's worst enemy is another Mexican, and that's one of
Hmm.
those things that we're trying to break. It's like we don't want that to be a thing anymore. um you can be with a group of Mexicans and we'll see Carlos Ortiz or Abraham Anser on TV, you know, competing for the Masters, or in this case now in live tournaments, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, he's a Mexican playing professional golf, but I guarantee you he came from money. He's more of like a Spaniard Mexican." And it's like, bro, there's layers to like the tension even from our own side.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Well,
crazy.
dude, I mean, if you talk about those two players in Carlos Ortiz and Abraham Ancer, they even, because we're part Mexican. We weren't born in Mexico. We're of Mexican descent.
Yeah.
So we're also kind of look weird when we go to Mexico because we're not Mexican enough and we're not American enough. So we're kind of no man's land. But
Hmm.
like
Mhm.
players like Abraham Ancer or Carlos Ortiz, because they played golf in Texas. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, Abraham Ancer played at what is it, the University of Oklahoma actually, and I think
Yeah.
Carlos Ortiz was at Texas Tech. So
Something like
they're
that.
kind
Yeah.
of seen as weird as well. Like, oh, dude, those are Americanized Mexicans. So even like within the own country, it's kind of weird. But like, dude, get over it. It is what it is. If you're into golf, you're into golf. If you're not, hey, give it a shot. You never know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, man, it's a huge ball of confusion as far as like the way golf is looked within our culture, and so I definitely love where it's going now because we got guys like you who are like, oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Like, so maybe you come across a Mexican kid on the range one of these days, and if you come up to him and just be like, hey, man, that's cool that you're into golf, that will go miles for that person
Hmm.
because it's like, oh, okay, it's not weird for me to be out here.
Yeah, and
Well,
that's where I feel like it's hard for me to like say what you guys could improve on because you're telling your own story, right? At the end of the day, we have 120 episodes and you're learning about Derek and I, majority of them. And
Mhm.
then you're also learning about this company and this company and this company. You know, we're telling a story, you're telling your own story. It's hard for me to critique somebody's story, right? It'd be like, you know, me showing you this really abstract picture I took above my computer and you being like, wow, that's shit. That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I took it and I really enjoy it. It's hard to critique that stuff.
Mhm.
You do need Hector on more, so Hector needs to work on that.
Hey, that's a
there you
great
go.
that's a great piece of feedback. Yeah. Um. Okay. Cool. So I have one more question for Dom Raul, but was there anything you wanted to bring up before I dive into it?
I honestly think we should steal a little bit of something in honor of SavePar. You know, they say that flattery, one of the biggest signs of flattery is to copy them.
Oh
So
God,
we're gonna throw a little lightning round at you, Dom.
fuck.
So you definitely have a lot more when it comes to expertise in the podcast world. So let's go ahead and throw you a quick couple lightning questions. What's been your like oh shit moment in podcasting?
Like oh shit good or oh shit bad?
Either one, dude. I'll let you go. It's lightning.
For me, like the oh shit moment was doing one live at the 3M Open, being invited out by the tournament, and then being joined by our guys and the vibes. Like that was at that moment, I was like, this is the coolest thing to ever happen to me.
Awesome.
Dope. That's a dope one.
Well,
Uh,
and like obviously it's lightning, but like we have one of the only private TPC courses in the nation is TPC
yep.
Twin Cities. You don't just walk on that course. So for me, I was like, this is sweet.
Fucking awesome. All
Yeah.
right, I know you and I have definitely chatted about shoes, but we always talk about either the running sneakers or kicks. How about golf shoes? What's your golf shoe to go with?
I keep buying the Jordan ones. So I just got a pair of the high Bordeaux's, and then I just got an all white pair that we're gonna customize for the shindig, just like I did in California.
That's sick. Yeah.
Very nice. Those are very nice customs that you were wearing out here, by the way.
Thank you. Did you see the taco on them?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
That's for you guys.
Love it. All right. Out here, we kept on telling you you had to go try out In and Out while you were out here. What do we have to try when we're out there with you in Minnesota?
Oh, that's a good one.
So if I had tried In and Out, you guys got to do Culver's because I feel like Culver's is better than In and Out, and that's like a hot take. But In
Definitely a
and Out
hot take
was
because I tried it in Iowa when I went there for my kids' baseball tournament. Now it was good. Not gonna say it wasn't good. I like it better. All right, this is a hot take for everybody in Texas. It was a lot better than Whataburger. Everybody kept on hyping Whataburger, and that thing was garbage. Culver's was
I
pretty
want to
good, dude.
try
I
it.
did like it.
I think
Although,
Whataburger
however,
is overrated.
Whataburger is like freaking Jack in the Box, dude.
Yeah.
so I guess since you've already had it, what
Send
we're
the
gonna
hate to
do?
me, not to Ralph, by the way, please.
Well, since you've already had it, what we're gonna do? There is a Ukrainian deli in Minneapolis. It's called
Oh,
Kramarczak's. Jordan, Beard, and I have already decided that we're gonna camp out there and try everything, and it's all cafeteria style. So you get a tray, you tell them what you want, you pay for it. Best Reuben I've ever had. Kramarczak's. My dad loves. They have these like not spit like cabbage rolls. It's
mhm.
all very homey, but it's
Yes.
Ukrainian deli. It's phenomenal. You're gonna have to come with us when we go.
Put us on
Yeah.
the list for that one.
You had us at deli. We love delis.
So the best part is attached to it, they make their own sausages, and you can buy them to go. So you can take
Nice.
whatever home. If you guys are driving, you bring like 40 pounds of that shit home.
Not gonna make it home, dude. All right, last one. Let's go back to the kicks. A couple things coming down in spring and summer. What are you looking forward to? What's the next pickup for Dom?
So I everyone right now is super big on the 9 being retroed into the golf world. There was the OG black, white, red, and the cool grays are coming out. I'm not a cool gray guy. I am hoping that they retro the I never remember the actual popped in my brain. The olive nines as a golf shoe.
Mhm.
Let me
Okay.
tell you. That would be something. Um I'm also always interested in what Adidas comes out with every year because their stuff has been kind of wild lately. Um, Puma's been doing really cool stuff too. But if they come out with a olive 9 low golf shoe, I'm buying it. Don't care.
All right. How about non-golf shoe?
Oh God. Um, I've been so swamped at work that I haven't even looked at what's coming down the sneaker pipeline. Um, it's kind of cool that Jordan's starting to sit again. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but like there's that box right there. I have,
You got to pull it out now because I can't see it on my end, Dom.
Yeah, let's
you
say.
know, that's
Or
like
unless you're gonna create an avalanche of boxes, then forget about it.
yeah, that's like 15 boxes deep. So I have the 2015 to 2016 retro of the metallic red Jordan 1 high.
Okay.
Those are coming back as the 85 cut in the burgundy.
You know what? I've been sleeping a little bit lately. Back to your point where I think they oversaturate it with Jordans a little bit. Believe it or not, the ones I'm actually crossing my fingers I get picked up for, I'm looking forward to the Adidas Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shell toes, and I'm hoping I'm able to get some of those, man.
Oh, those are cool.
I'm personally anti Adidas, but that sounds appealing.
Well, you know, it's funny when I jumped into the pod, Dom was talking about Solomon, and I've really gotten into Solomon in the last couple of months.
Yeah,
Bro.
2016.
That's clean, bro.
And I have worn them a lot. And I bought these things on clearance. This is back when Jordan 1s like were not hidden.
We're sitting.
And everyone's like, where'd you get those? I'm like, oh, I bought them on clearance like 8 years ago now. And like they are definitely worn. So this guy's coming back with the darker red, the little bit higher cut, and the burgundy, because this is one of the original Jordan 1 colors that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, that's when they were trying to get the fines to not hit as hard.
Yeah, I love this thing, but yeah, that was like 15 boxes deep. Oh my god. That and foams are coming back. I love foams.
Yeah, man. They just announced what the eggplants for the All-Star game. I think they came out, and I would honestly love to see a retro of the Galaxy, the infamous All-Star Galaxy that created all sorts of freaking havoc. I wouldn't mind getting another pair of those.
It was like that rusty pink color.
Yeah, the coppers.
No, there was one that was more pink.
Let's pull it up.
Because yeah, the coppers are sweet, but there's one that was kind of like a pinkish, like a darker metallic pink almost. Those ones I need. I have the floral foams, and then I have the Sequoia Foam Pros. It's great here in Minnesota because then they're like boots in the winter.
Oh, okay.
Can definitely come in handy for that.
We're definitely gonna have to dedicate an episode to you two just going sneaker talk. I think that needs to happen in the near future. So
yeah, I've got some Solomons here. I've got a Solomon box way up there. I love Solomon. I just actually ordered some more stuff.
Yeah, I honestly picked up on my second pair of Solomon, and I can definitely be jumping on that bandwagon. I mean, I've already been into the Asics, New Balance a little bit before all these people started getting onto it, and then I might be a little bit late to the Solomon bandwagon, but I actually am digging them.
I'm sure. I don't know if Ralph has told you, but I also kind of get a big discount on Solomon. I picked these guys up.
That's a nice one.
And the color's so good.
Yeah, those
is that
are
like
cool.
a metallic purple, silverish?
It's like a really dusty purple. I've worn them quite a bit. Yeah, I love these. These are the ACS Pro. I think these things retail like $250 or something.
So guys, if you're listening to this episode on Spotify or wherever you're tuning in, we are posting these also on YouTube. So if you want to see some of these shoes that Dom is talking about that he's pulling boxes out, tune into the YouTube version.
Did you figure out the YouTube thing? Because I have no idea how to help you. Good.
I did. I figured it out. Yeah. So yeah, we had a little delay on getting on the YouTube, but we are on YouTube. We're fully caught up on episodes. So go tune in. This is gonna come out, and you're gonna want to see some of these shoes. But yeah, I think we're definitely gonna have to dedicate a whole episode to you and Raul just swapping shoe stories.
Yeah, I have
showcasing some of the stuff that's in the closet.
Yeah,
I have
that'd be
some
dope.
really cool boxes and everything, but like I've got the big Jordan Converse pack way up top.
Yeah.
From
the North Carolina weapon colorway, or which one do you have?
I don't think it's the weapon. It's the Fuck, I can't think of it. It was a 2 that never released, but yeah, one's Chicago, one is UNC.
Yeah.
It was from like some anniversary thing. It wasn't the weapon though.
There was 2 Converse that dropped, if I remember correctly, for Jordan. One of them was the weapon, and the other one, let me see if I can pull it.
Oh damn, he straight up left.
I was like, are we doing a screen share right now? Oh, I think we're going screen share. About to show some kicks.
Oh no, that wasn't me. It was a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah. It's a
Well, that might be a sign to shut the hell up and let's hand it over to Ralph to wrap us up.
I do want to share one. I was kind of going through all my stuff because like there's a lot. I forgot I had these, and I really wish I didn't have these. You remember these things?
Oh, those.
Oh God, yeah, dude.
The, the
Why did you pick those up even?
I don't know. I don't know. And the worst part is I've worn them a lot.
You know what? I honestly I don't mind the shoe. It's the heel part that just that was a wackiness to me. The front, like I could live with it.
I could
It's
never
just
get
that
around
heel
the
part.
bubbliness of those types of shoes. Like
I
I
have
know
the
it.
basketball version too, the Arsham collab. I'm a big fan of Daniel Arsham and his art.
Uh,
Yeah.
That's up there. And then like I have the off-white Air Forces and yeah.
yeah, we're definitely gonna do a sneaker episode. So for those of you that are still listening, thank you. We definitely can go down the rabbit hole of sneaker talk, and we'll get you that episode. But the last question that we got for you tonight, Dom, it's been a funny topic as of late since episode 2. Our homie Omar started a little controversy with his hot take on the Masters and Tiger. Raul and I have talked about it, but what is your take and or prediction for the Masters? Will Tiger Woods make the cut this year in 2024?
No, he's gonna fake the flu again. He's gonna get carted off. And it's gonna be this whole thing.
Fake the flu.
Shade.
Well, I mean, listen, he leaves the golf course. Everyone's like all up in arms, and then it's like, oh, he had the flu, and it's like, well, why didn't you lead with that? Hey, Tiger's not feeling well. It's like, no, I mean, obviously, I did not grow up with Tiger, right? It's like I didn't grow up watching MJ on the Bulls. My MJ played for the frickin' Wizards, right?
Wizards.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not to date myself, I guess. I've never been a big Tiger guy. I just never grew up with Tiger. It was before my time. Don't get me wrong. I understand he's great, arguably the greatest of all time. I totally understand the legacy. I think he's too beat up. I think he's too battered. I just don't think his body can do it anymore. It's the same thing like with John Daly. Like I remember when everyone's like, oh, he gets a cart, blah blah blah, and I'm like, well, why doesn't Tiger get a cart? Like if Tiger had a cart every round, he'd probably be in every round.
I don't disagree with you on that one, but I don't. Even if they allowed him to, I don't think his pride would let him use a cart.
That's what I mean too, and it's like, at some point he's just got to let it go and be like, hey, my body's not handling it anymore. And it goes back to him. Like I remember everybody was like all up in arms with him leaving Nike, and it's like it came out that Nike could not make him a supportive enough shoe to handle his body. So that means his body's in rough shape, and it turns out only FootJoy is able to, which blows my mind. Yeah, that's why he kept wearing FootJoy. Is Nike kept bringing him Tiger Woods shoes, and the support was not the same as FootJoy.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, well, that was what he started. He went back to FootJoys for the last 2 years. I think he's been wearing FootJoys.
yeah.
Yeah. So he'll do the practice rounds in his Nike, and then when he would actually play competitively, he'd put on some FootJoys.
For the walking around and all that.
Yeah. So it's funny you brought up hot takes, but that brings up another one. What do you guys really think is going to happen with Nike Golf? Are we seeing the demise of Nike Golf? They're just going to close up shop the same way they did with equipment?
So funny enough, I went to the Mall of America today. That's another Minnesota thing. Woohoo! We have the biggest mall in America. We have a flagship Nike store, so I went in there. I'm like, cool. Maybe I'll see like a Jordan 9 golf shoe or something golf related. Nothing. They had men's, women's, children, ACG, LeBron basketball, the casual everyday Air Maxes, whatever. Nothing golf.
Dang. Yeah, I don't know, man. I heard somewhere, and I'm forgetting right now who I heard it from, but supposedly Nike has everything designed and mocked up through, I believe, end of 2025, but none of the current designers are working anything past that.
Yeah, I think I read something similar to that, but it was like a random Instagram golf account type of thing.
Maybe that's what I saw then.
I don't remember. I think you might have even sent it to me, but yeah, like I I had heard that one of the reasons they didn't even really bother, they did the, hey, we're going to give you lifetime kind of contract type of thing, like let's close up shop, but Nike was not heartbroken that Tiger walked away from it.
Yeah.
I think the golf market, this might be a hot take. I think the golf market might be a little oversaturated when it comes to like the apparel side of it. I feel like there's a new company every day making really good quality golf apparel. Whether it's like, I look at my closet, I've got three Kingsman polos, excuse me, sorry, Don. I've got, local Waggle. I've got stuff from Old Fashioned Golf. They're out of Wisconsin. Palm sent us really nice care package. Shout out Palm Golf, California. Um,
Ooh.
I've got all this stuff, and I'm like, there's probably two Nike polos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so
I don't
many.
think I bought a Nike polo in at least 3 years, maybe 4 years.
Yeah. Same.
And I think we're starting to get to a place where if you can't put a face to the brand, not many people are going to support you. And that face wasn't just Tiger, unfortunately. Like, yeah, everybody, you think of Nike Golf, it's Tiger, right? It makes sense. But when the company doesn't care about you, like I could hit up Palm and be like, hey, this stuff doesn't quite fit right. How do we fix it? That's exactly what they did. I got my package and they were under no obligation to help me correct anything because it was free. And they're like, yeah, absolutely. Here, shipping label, ship it back, we'll exchange it, no big deal. That's who people want to work with. Where I'm not saying Nike's customer service is bad. Obviously, it's great, but what are they going to do with it? They're not really going to care. It's, cool. Here's another email. There's no face. There's no name.
Mhm.
I think we're getting to a place in consumers where they want somebody to say, hey, I am so and so. I work for so and so. How can I help you? And that's just not Nike and golf.
I
Yeah.
could agree with that. Could definitely agree with that.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, man, there's all these other brands coming out now, these smaller, you know, quote unquote mom and pop brands that try to be ingrained into the golf community. So of course you're going to want to support them more than the bigger brands like Nike or
Mhm.
Adidas and stuff like that. So
Well, like
I
look at
totally
you
see.
guys with your new hoodies, right? Like is it branded? I
Brandon
saw the
Bills.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the BB on the sleeve on mine. Branded Bill's great company, right? They're always great. The hats are great. The apparel's great. But then like if something were to go wrong, I know who's going to respond to the emails.
Mhm.
It's an easy face, it's recognizable, but you also are charging a very, reasonable price for a very premium piece of apparel. You throw that swoosh right above Los Golferos, that's a $160 hoodie.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
Just
very
because of
true.
the swoosh, where you guys have the nice hood, the nice neck to it, printing's very nice, it's a nice weight. I even like the weird inner pocket in the pocket. That was a surprise to me.
Oh, the
Hex's
dash
Uh,
pocket for your key?
Yeah.
Is that what that is? I almost lost my work keys in there, so it makes sense. Um,
It's supposed to be for your key fob, but if you listen to my brother-in-law, it's his ball sack.
Yeah. Hex and Surge like to call it a ball sack.
but there's a face to Los Golferos. There's a face to SavePar. There's a face to Odin. There's a face to, you name it, Two Friends Golf, whatever.
Hmm.
Nike doesn't have that face in golf. I mean, in basketball, I'm sure they give a shit more than they do about golf, but I think it's oversaturated anyways. I won't be sad if they leave. I mean, they're not really innovating like they used to anyways, but that's neither here nor
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're kind of
I think,
surviving off of retroing Jordans into golf.
well, I mean, that in another way, where it really hits close to home, if you heard from their CEO, was it the fourth quarter review where he was talking about going back to the origin because they've got their asses handed to them when it comes to running. And
Mm-hmm.
again, right before we started the podcast, you were talking about how in the industry Hoka became the cult of Hoka, and some of those folks that were at Hoka now are going to different brands, and now uh, they're over at Solomon. These companies that were niche are now becoming every day. Like my wife will not wear anything but Hokas now. She freaking loves her Hoka. She's in the cult.
Mhm.
And Nike, who was, I mean, honestly, they created the freaking waffle running technology. synonymous to running for quite some time, and even had one of the fastest shoes when it came to running marathons. You go to a legit run shop and they're like, oh yeah, those are the 3 Nikes that we have, and nobody really cares about Nike anymore.
We don't even carry Nike. Like that's how little.
That's hardcore right there, dude.
You know, like we don't even really value it like that. You know, there's like, yeah, they're getting their ass handed to them in running. The number one brand in running is Brooks, and it's
Brooks,
like it's
out of Seattle.
Close, but it's not. Yeah, it's not close, but it's close. Hoka would be number one if they didn't have inventory issues, but right now Brooks is selling like crazy, and it's been that way the last handful of years. Um, a lot of it has to do with Nike's marketing and stuff like that. Again, this would be like a whole nother hour conversation, so I'm not going to get too into it.
We'll save that for part 2.
Yeah, but like what they're doing with their business doesn't always quite make sense. But at the end of the day, they can do it because of the logo. People want that.
Yeah.
Very
Definitely.
true.
Yeah. So funny, Raul, because I was actually just talking to Dom yesterday about running shoes and stuff like that, and I was like, yeah, it sucks because Nike, they're known for running shoes, and he's like, no, they're not. I was like, well,
they were at one point.
Or what? Before your time, Dom, they were known as a running shoe. So.
I mean, think about it. The running shoes that they were most famous for are now our freaking casual shoes, Air Max ones. I mean, that were, way advanced technology. It's one of my favorite shoes of all time. That's why I'm kind of looking forward to Air Max Day. Yes, it's a legacy running shoe, but nobody's gonna freaking run in Air Max ones.
Nah,
but those things are long gone. I mean, like, when has there been a legit Air Max that will be used for a legit run? I don't think we've had something like that. Since maybe like the Bullets, 1997. Dom, you weren't even born yet, bro.
Yeah, I was born in 97.
Well, yeah, but you weren't running. I mean, honestly, that's history for you.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the 98s, when they had the different shape with the whatever they call it with the air bubbles, they had different shapes and everything. But yeah, I mean, even like the new one that they've been teasing for what feels like a year and a half, no one's gonna run in it, and they don't even market it as a running shoe. It's a casual.
Yeah,
shoe.
the tubular or something like that.
Yeah,
Air Max.
Yeah, the TB or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah, no, it's the industry is getting crazy, but yeah, guys, that's gonna be a part 2. So once again, if you're into kicks and talking about the business of shoes, we will definitely dive into that. You just let us know. We got 2 great guys here that can talk about it. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap up our episode here for tonight, Dom. Once again, big thank you and shout out to you, Derek, SavePar. You guys have been big supporters of ours, and I mean, really couldn't really be doing the things that we're doing without the help of the people that have supported us along the way, and you guys are definitely big supporters of ours. So thanks for being on. Yep, and thank you for being on the pod, and as always, salud, fellas.